Okay, so we return to the next reign in our playthrough of the King's Dilemma. We must choose a new moral alignment, for our old counselor is dead, and we've moved on. I am now my father's son, and I must choose a new moral alignment to mess around with. Extremist. Wait a minute. For this one, a gold for every step between the highest and lowest resources on the track. Wow, that's actually a lot of money. And one for if the maximum distance is reached. Oh, wow. Okay. Greedy. So this is giving one. Interesting. Okay, trying to figure out exactly what it means. So this is giving. This is good. Greedy is got because one is. I forget what it is. Loyalty. I forget something in crave. This one's the good and bad. So greedy is 2 gold for every resource in the tower, or every resource in the lower half of the track. Okay, and then 2 additional crave if all the resources are in the lower half of the track. So this would be if I wanted to go evil, but I'm not going to. I don't think, because we kind of set ourselves up like. This is where all the resources changed at the beginning to like have a lot of stuff be good. So an opportunist is 1 crave for every resource in the lower half of the track, and then 2 additional if all. Is these the same? Oh yeah, they're the same except for one gives gold and the other gives more crave. So if I wanted to be super craven, all right, we'll see what opulent is like. I don't know what that resource is called. 1 good point for every resource in the upper half of the track. 2 additional good boy points if all the resources are in the upper half of the track. So it's just the opposite of opportunist. So yeah, okay. And then is this going to be opposite of greedy? No, this is what we had last time. 1 for every resource in the upper, 1 for every lower, 1 additional for every additional for. And one is the central area is empty. Oh. Okay. And then this one is moderate. So you just try to keep everything in the middle. 1 good guy point for every white resource and 1 bad guy point for every black resource in the central area of the track. Oh, so they have to flip. Because I think they flip when they choose a direction. I also did notice that my music might have been too low, actually, so we're going to turn it up a bit. So this is interesting. All the resources are in the central part of the track. So this would be like, I did kind of go even in crave and good boy points. I wonder if moderate would be good. Try to keep it right in the middle. I feel like that's not too hard to do, actually. Let's be moderate. Let's be mediocre as fuck. Spend your prestige points and crave points to prepare for the uprising. Each preparation shows its rewards and the required number of reigns to be completed. Rewards are collected at the beginning of each reign after you complete the preparation. Additionally, most preparations unlock a dilemma that you will face in the uprising. I also noticed my mic might be too close to my face. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. See how that works. Hopefully, it sounds okay. I'm used to having it closer, so I apologize if I pull it closer to my face. So, oh, nope, going back to here. We're just going to continue. So yeah, these are like things I can unlock. I'll get stuff for it. This is forged red iron Hubergions. I don't know, I've not read that before in my life. A mail shirt forged with the ultra-resilient metal from Enkahal. It's too expensive to equip every single man in battle, but it's perfect as a layer of protection for the most important inhabitants of the castle. It can withstand blows from daggers and short swords. Or build a royal treasure room, which is store the riches of the kingdom in a secret room inside the castle keep. Or research Libra's geology, studying the terrain around the capital of Ankist will allow the construction of underground structures and tunnels. Interesting. Do I want one of these? I have the means, but it would cost me some stuff. This would give me 4 gold. And it would happen, I think... Oh, no. Yeah, it looks like it would happen in 3. I don't know what that means. If it would happen every time. If I would just get extra gold every round. Let me just look at this again. This table summarizes the types of preparation and their rewards. Coins. This preparation takes 3 rounds to complete, unlocks final dilemma, and rewards you with a final dilemma. Oh, is that a final dilemma? It's kind of cool. I don't hate it. I do have 5 and 5. Do I wipe the board to see what this is? Fuck yeah, I do. Let's do it, YOLO! You will unlock more preparations as you progress through the campaign, so visit this screen frequently to prepare for the big battle that is to come. You won't be able to unlock all the preparations in a single playthrough, as some will be locked out depending on the choices that you make. Well, good to know. Replayability value. Let's see. People like me in general. I'm doing okay. Only these guys don't like me. Reveal their narrative goal or form alliance info. The Dukes of Olwyn. Ugh, I'm not gonna read all their shit. I don't need to know about them unless I play as them. Bastards. We'll just continue. Oh, they don't like me either. Torque doesn't like me. And Olwyn doesn't really like me. How close are they to me? Because who am I? What's my sign? I'm way up here. So you don't like me and you don't like me. Technically, we're neighbors, so that's not great. And who really likes me? Someone who's just way far away from me. Well, they like me. That makes sense. We're sharing a border. A tiny little itty bitty border. You like me, you're indifferent. And these are questionable. I don't know who that is. Okay. You can find all previous tutorials at the pause menu. I think we're past the tutorial. I don't think we need it anymore. Very cool. Well, let's see what is wrong with the realm in this new age. A dark harvest. A disputable Mahurian scholar named somebody blah blah blah. Okay, and that has to do with food stores, or what's it called? Welfare? It's just called welfare. Okay. This one is morale and prosperity, so it's a city of tents. Morano, the rich merchant. This is the one from last time. He survived, and then know thy enemy, which is a morale for Encall. I'm going to stop reading the little extra bits because they're not completed. So know thy enemy, Fawar Mountains. And that is going to be morale and prosperity. I want to keep stuff in the middle. Morale and prosperity are kind of lower, so this one isn't bad. And I think this gives me the same thing. So we'll keep those in mind. And then the actual city still has this, which is also that. I kind of want to do the in the city one. Like, let's resupply the army. Let's do it. All right, I like this choice. It is time to resupply the army. We could save money by mixing regular and gray wheat to produce the bread rations for our soldiers. Do we mix a cheap gray and regular wheat to feed our soldiers? Do we use a mix of cheap gray? Okay. So he says they say nay, they say aye. This would just lift the lowest one, which I'm not against. And it for the most part stays positive. I'll be losing a point with them, but I won't be going into the negative with anyone. And I feel like with this, I'm dipping into the negative. I think it would be good to make some allies. More, it's an even trade. It's an even trade. I might do it. Aye. Considerable amounts of cheap gray flour are diluted with regular and more valuable flour to produce the bread rations for our soldiers. Producing food for the army becomes remarkably cheaper, but the soldiers don't fail to notice the diminished quality of their food. We decided to feed our soldiers with cheap bread. Each morsel reminds them how little we care for their well-being, even as they risk their lives for us. Oh, now I feel bad. Way to guilt me, game. I'm just trying to make people happy, and I just make people sad. But okay. Well, I'm the son of the previous ruler. I'm still in the Ducal family. Aren't we done? Are we Dunkirk? What the hell? I don't remember our name. Well, any case, I'm a great heir to the councilmanship. So we're fine. Add it to archives. We're gonna be good. Just a little bit of negative. It's not a big deal. We're fine. What's my reign again? What are we? Duloc. Of course, I always remembered it. Don't question my loyalty for even a moment. Oh, okay, interesting. The archives collect information about past reigns as well as all the recorded history of the kingdom. Check previous chapters of the story, all recorded chronicles, uncovered mysteries, and an encyclopedia that contains information about the kingdom and the known world. This is cool. So we can kind of look at all the storylines that we've advanced thus far. We can see the we can see the stories. It's pretty cool. Okay, neat. I still want to know what the black bar is, but I will find that out eventually. Unless that is it just sort of pulling out and this is the track that advances. I don't know. Chronicles. Okay, yeah, this is all my stuff, so I can kind of see what's going on with my people. Alright, great. A guild alliance. I have 2. Oh yeah, know thy name and guild alliance. Okay, cool. Mysteries? I don't have any mysteries. And then just encyclopedia. Oh. Can I... Is this all... Oh, it's all here! Okay, well, let's get a history lesson going. I want to know what the fuck's going on in this world. We're going to do some reading, so sit tight. Okay, the history of the world. At the present time, Ankist is one of the strongest and largest kingdoms in the world, and has enjoyed several decades of peace. But less than 2 centuries ago, it was divided into many small kingdoms and raider tribes. Little is known about what happened before this age of fragmentation, but what we know for sure is that the lands of the current kingdom of Ankist, as well as most of the other known lands, were ruled by several lost civilizations throughout the ages. The monumental vestiges they left behind are present in most of the cities of the kingdom. The Salan Union, around 800 years ago. All that remains of this great civilization are a few vestiges on the coasts of both the Sayar Ocean and the Kahil Sea, such as gigantic lighthouses in ruins or shipyards, readapted throughout the centuries and still in use in some cities of the kingdom. Some say that in ancient times their rule spanned over the whole world. Okay, so this is like our predecessors. Okay. The Sabian League, are they the same? Okay, around 1100 years ago. Older ruins are present across the south of Ankist. Many market squares in the southern cities are built around these structures, and a few obelisks made from sculpted sandstone survive the test of time. The bas relief scenes represented on these obelisks mainly depict scenes of trade, suggesting that commerce was the main strength of this civilization. Historians agree, 1400 years ago, the first king, around 1400 years ago, historians agree that all of the most ancient and time-worn monasteries of our kingdom and beyond were built by Omad, the legendary first king, a historical yet almost mythical figure. His rule allegedly spanned over the whole world, and even though it ended hundreds of years before our kingdom was even born, our royal family claims to have a direct lineage from him. At the present time, he's praised more for bringing the cult of the Mother to our continent and converting the northern pagan tribes than for his considerable military successes. He was so illustrious that every state claims to be his birthplace. And the mythical history. Some historians suspect there was another forgotten empire that might have been the cradle of civilization. This belief comes from the many spurious copies of a legendary artifact that has been lost for centuries called the Golden Map. We've been seeking this item for decades to no avail. Okay, and moving into religion. Oh boy, lots of information. Having another drink. The Cult of the Mother. The Cult of the Mother is the only religion in the kingdom of Ankist and in most of the other known lands. The Mother is considered the only true goddess, and she is worshipped as a benevolent figure together with her 8 saint daughters. However, especially in remote places, paganism is sometimes still present, but the cult treats it as superstition, claiming that the pagan gods are likely misinterpretations of the saint daughters. Dogma. The religion of the cult is based on the fact that all is created and regenerated by the mother. When you die, you go back to the mother's womb, where you will be regenerated before being born again. Birth and death are equally important. Birth cannot be prevented in any way, and corpses must be buried in order to go back to the mother. Interesting. The cult claims that the mother once walked in this world in human form to elevate humanity above the beasts, but she was not human. Okay. Heresies. The dogmatic truth has been questioned by several heretical theories in the past. A famous heresy theorized the existence of a 9th daughter, and claimed that the mother was not an immortal goddess, but just the empress of an ancient civilization. Blasphemy! Part of a matrilineal dynasty where the 9th daughter would inherit command. Another heresy asserts that the saint daughters are as divine as the mother. They would actually be her sisters, and the mother herself would be an aforementioned 9th. Yet another one says that the saint daughters were actually the ancient pagan gods who were defeated by the mother and submitted to her will. These heresies are all vigorously denied by the cult. The cult's kind of fucked up, I'm just gonna say. They're not right. But, you know, here we are with the cult. The 8 saint daughters of the mother. The cult worships the mother and her saint daughters as a unity, but commoners may ask the favor of a specific daughter according to what they need. The saint daughters have a dual nature. They each represent a virtue they gifted to the world, and the avoidance of a vice that could be fostered by an excess of that same virtue. In this sense, the saint daughters represent harmony and balance. Those who seek courage without recklessness will pray to Tilde. Those who seek strength and vigor without violence will pray to Orsol. Those who pray to Agna will have wisdom and avoid folly. Those who seek creativity, arts, and games will pray to Lyra. Lyra! She's my girl! #1 waifu, I love her. Who will tell them when playfulness must stop. Air is the patron of love, but she is mindful to avoid jealousy. Those who need their business to thrive will ask Rayla to intercede for them, and they will be granted wealth as long as they are generous with it. Kerthos brings justice, but always with mercy. Those who seek rest or think they deserve to feast after a great effort will pray to Mahir, without ending in laziness. This is very well thought out, I will say that much. This is kind of a crazy fantasy. It's very Catholicism based, I can tell. But it is some interesting fantasy writing. I like the depth that was put into this world. Good job. Structure of the cult. I just love that it's like, it's the cult. Let's just call it the cult, and that's like, okay. The cult of the mother only allows women to join its ranks. The priestesses of the cult informally call each other sisters and live in monasteries. Now I'm getting Dune vibes. Oh God, what are they called? the Jerezerax. I don't know. It's fine. Priestesses can indulge in romantic relationships. The Bene Gesserit. Got it. Bam, I knew it. Priestesses can indulge in romantic relationships and have children, but they usually do not marry, even if it is not formally forbidden. They can raise their daughters at monasteries until they reach puberty. Then the girls can choose to become priestesses themselves or to leave. If a priestess gives birth to a son, he will have to be raised by his father outside of the monastery. Interesting. So it is certainly different. Okay. Monasteries. The monasteries are of different sizes and shapes, but all of them, from the smallest village monastery made of only 2 rooms to the biggest ones which can host up to hundreds of priestesses, have a public space where all the believers gather and assist in the rites, and a private space where the priestesses live and perform special rituals. Only priestesses can enter this place, but while lay women may occasionally be welcomed as guests, access is never allowed to men. The biggest monasteries are led by an elected figure called the High Priestess. Okay. And then we have other religions. Heresy! I didn't know this was going to become the history episode, but I will name it as such. The world. Despite Ankist being one of the most influential and powerful kingdoms of the world, it is not the only one. 2 continents are known to the people of Ankist: the northern continent of Liwick, where the kingdom of Ankist is, and the mostly unknown southern continent, only known for the fierce ivory desert and the tales and legends shared by the few foreign travelers venturing to our lands. The kingdom of Muhir. Ankist shares a border with Muhir to the northwest. Okay. The 2 kingdoms used to be almost comparable in size a few decades back, but Muhir is now much smaller after they lost a war against Ankist in the year 143. Still, it is culturally and technologically more advanced. Okay. Kingdom of Sidlata. We kind of got like a brief overview of these at the beginning, but it's nice to get this extra detail. The small and poor kingdom of Sidlata, to the south of Ankist, does not really have much to offer. Despite being completely harmless, it has not yet been conquered by any of its neighbors, only because its stingy lands are even more onerous to administer than they would be easy to conquer. Okay. The Republic of Kaupas. Damn it. Man, this one's tough. Caupius? The Republic of Caupius, despite... God, I am saying that so weird. Cupius. I'm just going to say Cupius. The Republic of Cupius, despite ruling over the cold and rocky territories located to the northeast of the Kingdom of Ankist, has commercial abilities beyond imagination that more than compensate for the harshness of their homeland. Their leader, the Doge, is elected every 5 years among the most talented merchants, and despite having only limited powers, they are the head of the army of mercenaries, and most importantly, they can veto the decisions of the Bank of Cards, one of the most influential banks in the whole world. They're also a very good boy, the Doge. That's funny. Next. The Kazuk Empire. Beyond the Chile Sea, the Kazuk Empire extends its territories for miles and miles to the distant east. Most of its territories are barren steppes, frozen in winter and impossible to farm. Therefore, the majority of its population lives on the coast of the Chile Sea, partially in the Placid Waters Gulf. The emperor, always accompanied by his personal guard composed of the best fighters from the north, lives in opulence and luxury just like his bureaucrats and nobles, while their subjects are miserable and beaten down. Placid Waters Gulf? Okay. The southern continent. Besides the coastal city-states, the southern continent is barely explored. The inland is apparently wholly occupied by a vast desert called the Ivory Desert, where no one can live, while a tall mountain range called the Nebula Mountains cross it from north to south, splitting it into 2 halves. The Society of Ankist. Wonderful. Now we're getting a little more local. The merchants. They are entrepreneurs who run commercial activities and finance trading expeditions. They generally have a large income or fortune that they can rely on. To pursue their commercial interests, the merchants of Ankis unite themselves into local guilds. They don't usually behave as a united faction because the various guilds may have diverging interests, but they periodically elect a guildmaster or mistress who is considered neutral by all the guilds and speaks to the council for all of them. The common people. With their with their numbers and with the numbers and resiliency, they are the backbone of the kingdom. They mostly have humble jobs like farming, woodcutting, tailoring, or mining. They do not own any significant wealth, and the fruits of their work serve them to just get by. Their interests are defended by the tribune and an elected figure with a mandate of 10 years who reports the problems of the common people to the council. Okay, cool. The cult. The most influential high priestesses of the cult sit on the Circle of the Blessed. Among them, a prior mother is selected as the leader of the cult through a specific ritual. It is said that the mother herself guides this decision. While not considered divine herself, the prior mother deals with doctrinal issues and is considered the voice of the mother in our world. Another extremely important figure of the circle of the Blessed is the Holy Attendant, who deals with the material problems of the cult and often sits on the council to report on cult-related issues. Interesting. Justice. With the convention that each wrong must be followed by an equal and opposite reaction to restore balance, justice in the kingdom of Ankist is commonly based on the law of retaliation. The more serious the felony, the more harsh the punishment. Ah, good old medieval justice. Pretty fucked up. Okay, the more common crimes are dealt with by local judges, although the Duke, Marquis, or even the King can be consulted to ask for a pardon. On the other hand, the most ambiguous cases are brought to the attention of the first judge, an expert and wise man of law at the head of the Justice Court of Libra, who studies these matters and submits their advice to the council. And then finally, the shortest one, politics. The council. You are members of the council, a governing body ruling in the name of the king located in Libra, the capital city of the kingdom of Ankist. You represent one of the 12 noble families who rule the duchies and the marks into which the kingdom is divided. Your main interest is obviously to make Ankist prosper. However, you are also trying to increase the power and prestige of your own family over the others. The game campaign spans decades and generations, so you will assume the role of a different representative of your house each game. You won't be the same person over multiple games. Ha ha ha, very true. I am someone different. Do not look at the PNG tuber. I am new. Ankist is one of the largest states. Yeah, the Kingdom of Ankist is one of the largest states in Lywick. I'm guessing that's just the continent. But it's not the only one. Ankist itself is the result of the union of many formerly independent kingdoms conquered in wars or united by diplomacy, that were incorporated over the centuries as duchies or marks. The north and the south of Ankist have uncertain borders. The unclaimed borderlands are full of raiders, cutthroats, and dangerous nomadic tribes. The political structure. The structure of the kingdom is feudal. The duchies and marks are managed by their ruling houses, represented by the players. These families are all loyal to the king of Ankist, but also have counts and barons that are loyal to them. The houses are responsible for rallying the army, gathering taxes, and generally administering their territory in the name of the king. The king is personally assisted by the chamberlain, isn't that me? I think so, who will deal with the council about several general matters. The council can also rely on the royal treasurer, who is charged with monitoring the finances and dealing with the economy of the kingdom. And we're done. We did it. You made it through. If you got to the end, fucking brownie points, dude. Let's continue. Okay, I wanted to get through that history because maybe I could understand a little bit more of some things going on. I think the most helpful was to know I almost said Siberia. I'm getting the world mixed up a teensy tiny bit. But the where is it? Let me find them. Yeah. The Salon Union, and the Sabian League. This was really helpful. Seeing the first king, the mythical history, some of the predecessors, because I feel like they mentioned that in a couple of these. So let's get back to it. We're gonna get back to it. Ha! Okay, we've completed that there. We're still playing a video game. I promise it's not just story time. Let me see what it is I can raise or lower. God, I would love one that was just morale and what's this called? Influence. Okay. I guess any of them could do. The one I don't know if I would avoid any one per se. I think I'm going to do this, the City of Tents. Or this is like the same thing. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's do this one. Know thy enemy. The Scarams, a nomadic people from the unclaimed lands near the northern mountains, drink a beverage made with goat milk fermented with a secret herb. Our soldiers are eagerly purchasing it, and the guild mistress would like to import it, thinking it could be a successful product. A guild mistress, I believe that's the leader of the merchants. However, it is strongly alcoholic, and some question its wholesomeness. Uh-oh. Do we import the milk-based Scaram beverage? Let me think. I'm not 100. I'm going to lower my voice a teensy bit, so maybe I'm not as loud. Do we import the milk-based stream beverage? So they're saying no. That's what's happening here, is a big no. And that would go down, which I'm kind of okay with. Because I kind of want to ride this out, man. If I can ride this out, fuck yeah. Let's go with nay. Let's go with nay. Not make anyone too mad. They'll still like me. So we won't. We will not be doing this. In such delicate times, our people should stay focused. We ban the barbarians' fermented goat milk, forbidding soldiers to keep drinking it and preventing it from entering the kingdom. And that just goes down a teensy bit. That's a pretty chill one. Pretty chill. Let's do those tents then. Let's do the tents. Morano, a rich merchant from a remote desert city called the City of Tents, wants to negotiate a lucrative trade agreement among his samples of goods. And among his samples of goods is a slave concubine in chains. Oh boy. He claims the woman comes from a desert temple that allegedly hides the golden map, a fabled item we've been seeking for decades. Many of our people are against slavery. Do we force Morano, a rich merchant, to free the slave? She knows where the golden map is, dude. They all say nay. Oh my god, they all say nay. All of them. Oh boy. I'm gonna spend some power and say aye. I'll piss them off a little bit. I want the golden map. We cannot tolerate slavery. We force the merchant to free his concubine and send him away. This compromises our trade agreement, but our people rejoice that we stood up for the poor woman. Many are also excited at the prospect that she may reveal the location of the mythical golden map. That's what I'm talking about. Legend says it leads to an endless fountain of liquid gold. Our money problems will be solved. Our choice to free the merchant slave compromised our relationship with the southern desert lands before it even started. Uh-oh. Is that my second bad for that zone? Oh no. Sarah, the woman we freed from slavery comes from a remote temple of the Mother in the south of Marodi, which we call the Ivory Desert. She says the golden map is guarded by this temple. Sarah was kidnapped and enslaved by her former master while visiting the City of Tents. Her story becomes quite popular in the kingdom and spurs a burst of interest in the unexplored southern continent that she calls Conferta. Sarah claims that it is the land where the ancient Sabian League once prospered and fell. Ooh, the ancient Sabian League, we just read about them. Our scholars immediately start preparing a caravan to retrieve the golden map and take Sarah back home. But traversing the Ivory Desert, famous for tempests of burning white sand, will not be easy. I've advanced a new storyline. That does increase. I wonder if these are being pulled out and then the story is advancing. So I'm almost done with this one. Interesting. Ooh, we need to get money up. We need money uppy. Make money go up. Hoping big time. Distant Reward, Ivory Desert. Let's do this one. Laszlo, a botanist, requests funds to study the poisonous red cacti covering a small area of the Ivory Desert. Some believe them to be the tears left behind by Orsel, the saint daughter of strength, when she took the burden of human brutality upon herself to free us from it. Man, I'm happy we did those history notes. I would have been confused. Do we fund Laszlo's research into the red cacti? They're saying nay. Yeah, I really don't want to bring money down, and that's my only option. We're just going to say no to the research. I think a lot less about what I would actually do as my house. Oh, we do have 2 negatives in there. Oh, army's not good, guys. It's not going good in the kingdom. These are permanent. These last the whole game. Okay. I think nay is good here. I do not want it to go so far down that it's there. The only thing is I'm decreasing again, so the stability is going to decline. Let's just say nay. This requires funds to study a poison. The tears of... Oh, yeah, some people believe it to be quite religious. Okay. Well, sorry. I'm going to give it the nay. Just let that go. We can think of many better ways to spend money rather than funding useless research on a red ornamental plant. We deny Laszlo's request. Damn. Fucking brutal. Well, I just went down a little bit. Which is fine. God, I need money. I need money to go up. I mean, it can chill. It can chill there. A distant reward. End call. I'm very gamified right now. I'm mostly just thinking about this, keeping these in the middle, making moves. We have 2 more we can do before we're starting to roll for the king dying. So, trying to think of what the most gentle shit would be. This affects a lot of stuff. So I don't know. And it advances that track, which is interesting. Drill. Oh, the Dark Harvest track. Okay. Is there a way I can see my... where my main track is at? I don't know. My, story track? Do have that one in progress. Just taking a peek around. Oh, yeah. Story. Here we go. So, that one is fairly far along. That one we started, and that one we just barely started. Okay. Cool. Let's head back. Now I'm really thinking. Let's do the 3. The caravan of scholars seeking to retrieve the golden map, oh yeah, because I wanted the golden map in the first place, is constantly threatened by desert raiders and is struggling to move forward. If we don't send to them military aid, they'll be forced to deviate to the city of tents to stock up on supplies and hire mercenaries. Do we send reinforcements on the Golden Map expedition? I mean, I want to say yeah. They're going to start to not like me. I'm okay with those both going up. I don't want to spend my power right now. Oh, but those both go down. No. Remember, I don't want to go down. I don't want the stability to fuck up. We send troops to support the caravan. Thanks to the help of the army and the guidance of Sarah, the scholars finally reached a remote temple of the Mother in the middle of the Ivory Desert. Soon we'll discover the Golden Map is really there. If the Golden Map is really there. Unfortunately, fatigued by travel, Sarah dies before she can see her home again. God damn it! That sucks. Sad. Damn. After wandering for days, our expedition sights a rocky plateau protruding from the desert, the ruins of a temple atop it. Is there just like water in that temple in the desert? Our scholars think it dates the time of Omad, the first king, but it was pillaged recently. Inside, they find the dried corpses of dozens of sand priestesses, an opulent version of the cult of the Mother that, though we worship the same goddess, had lavish ways in stark contrast with the sober purity of our cult. The ruin surrounds a huge oasis. Oh my god! That's kind of wild. And based on rough interpretations of ancient inscriptions in the altar hall, it was called the Chalice Peak. Most of the temple's riches were stolen by the raiders, but the inscriptions suggest that bigger treasure may lay hidden in a secret chamber. Okay. Alright. Yeah, when this is fully eclipsed, it's all over. Ooh. Kind of going a little hard in that way. I may have set myself up badly. Maybe I should have lowered them and like pushed to the king being gone. It's okay. We only have a couple more rounds before we're starting to roll for it. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I should do that one. Those are too far apart from one another. And only this one if they're going down. Are there any that affect these ones near the middle, or just so if I do this one and I make it go down, that could kind of inch him away from the edge? I'm into that. What, was there a new one in Ankiss? No, yeah, there's just Chalice Peak here, which has something going on. That's only going to be, knowledge. Let's try to lower our morale. We're a little too excited. Okay. I think that one has the least of the extra points at the top. Some of our soldiers have developed an admiration for the strength of the Nkali warriors. Some would like to adopt Askadar, their peculiar training regimen. Excuse me. Many recruits, however, believe it to be too harsh. Do we train our soldiers with the Askadar, the Enkal training regiment? I would bring it down, which I'm into doing, and that kind of brings me up with the right people. I'm cool with that. We're almost like really best buds with them. Yeah, easy decision. Easy decision. The Nkali believe it is everyone's moral duty to strive for self-perfection. Askadar is a sophisticated philosophy rather than a simple martial training method. To the dismay of the recruits, I just beat the hell out of my army. Jeez, it involves hand-to-hand combat while naked in the snow and running and climbing in full equipment. Adapting to such a harsh routine will take time. It's not like they'll rebel and murder me. While many recruits complained about the unnecessarily harsh new training conditions upon their inception, thanks to Askadar, our troops definitely became more fit. Well, I mean, they can't complain, and I did finally get at least a plus, so that's kind of mediated. Whew, that was a little too extreme in the bad zone. Now I'm legitimately avoiding being evil because I feel like my setup was. I mean, I have 4 positive marks and 3 bad ones. So unless that tips the scales, I am the heir of my previous of my father, who was ruler of the head of the previous council, and now I have taken the seat. And I believe that, we need to run our kingdom well. So we'll continue. Still doing good. Kings, doing good. Everything's good. I'm kind of into this one. Because maybe we can lift the gems out of the dirt there. Or dealing with the Incal more. Let's have this generation deal with the Incal more. Let's figure out more of what's going on there. Gutlob, a disgraced and exiled Inkali clan leader, approaches our diplomats. He's plotting to overthrow the current king of Inkali, Keser, and he's asking for our help. The army wants to support him. The new leader would be our ally. Our diplomats, however, believe we should reveal this plot to Kesar to prove our honor. Do we help Gutlab, exiled clan leader, dethrone the warrior king? If I say nay, both of those go up. And I would become super friends with the one. And I'm kind of into that. Hopefully this doesn't go up too far. So let's go with no. Our diplomats denounce the plot to the king of the Inkali, and Gutlab's rebellion is suffocated before it can even start. Keser praises our truthfulness and honorability. As a result, our diplomatic relations with Inkal greatly improve. Commercial trade and cultural exchanges flourish. I'm doing so good! Our recent actions proved to the Inkali that we are honorable. After centuries of mutual indifference, we have a fruitful yet fragile cultural and business relationship. Red iron becomes abundant in our kingdom, including weapons for our army. Our only persistent choice of friction is religious, since their ancestors fought against a sun empress who declared herself divine. The Inkali abhor the concept of religion. This causes occasional incidents with the most devout of our people. Because of this, the announcement of a planned marriage between Edgarn, brother of the Duke of Coden, and Lyra, daughter of the warrior king of the Inkali, causes a sensation. We've advanced ever further. Yeah, it's growing right here. So I think this is it's like pulling that out, and then this is advancing. And the king lives. Oh, we gotta bring down the army. The army just went way up. Bring it down. Bring it down. Oh no. Okay, a distant reward. This is our chance to make the army go down. Unless there's another one. Honorable alliance. The welding between. So it's one of those. An honorable alliance or a distant reward. I just don't know which one's gonna let it go down. This one is those. Are they both the same? Yeah, they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter from that. I'm just trying to think. The wedding between Lyra and Edgarn has been repeat. Icarus and nomadic tribe living in the. Okay, this might be the one. I'm going with this one. A distant reward. The Ixors, a nomadic tribe living in the unclaimed lands of the Gaunt Isthmus, south of the Mark of Kron, are asking to join our kingdom. Ixors could strengthen our army. They are excellent warriors and camel drivers, able to exploit the few resources offered by their arid steppes to survive. Many, however, are distrustful of their barbaric customs. Do we welcome the tribe from the Gaunt Isthmus into our kingdom? I'll say nay and use my power on this one. And, yeah, I'll go down one with my buddy to make an alliance, but that's okay because it's more important that I get a shit ton of points. We let the nomadic tribe know that they are not welcome in our kingdom. The people cherish our decision, but may have wasted a significant opportunity. Ooh, the king lives, baby! We're still here! Oh, not enough! Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! It's my only chance. I have to do this one. An honorable alliance. The wedding between Lyra and Edgarn has been repeatedly delayed due to the riots and doing caused by zealots trying to force the Duke to break his brother's engagement to the godless princess, as they say. The honor-driven Inkali, though, have been quite upfront. Canceling the marriage would have severe consequences. Do we repress the protests about the interracial marriage? I'm going to say that it's going to be... give me one moment. I just need to think. Do we repress the protest about the interracial marriage? I need it to go down, so it's going to be just a nay. We're doing nay. Here we go. Our lack of response to the riots, the rioting zealots infuriates the Inkali. Well, you know, come on. We made a good relationship before. They're not going to leave before. Lara, forced to choose between her love for Edgar and the convictions of her people, chooses the former and converts to the cult of the mother to marry Edgar, thinking it a reasonable compromise. Oh my god. However, her father, the warrior king of Inkali, is not of the same mind. Mad with wrath, he declares war! I just wanted neutrality. Betrayed both by us and their princess, the Inkali will not forgive our lack of respect for their culture. A promising alliance was thwarted in its infancy. The battle between Inkali engulfs the Mark of Torque. Our more abundant resources and superior numbers barely allow us to keep the unmatched battle prowess and the red iron weapons of our enemy at bay, narrowly preventing them from extending their range of action into our other duchies. In the end, neither faction proves capable of defeating the other, but at the same time, neither is willing to give up the fight. We find ourselves in a perpetual state of war, a never-ending conflict that puts a strain on the resources of the most influential families of our kingdom, forced to constantly support the war effort. No! Over a marriage? Is that the ending? Cohesion and dissent. Oh no! The last chapter of each storyline will award cohesion or dissent points. These represent the amount of order and chaos in the kingdom, and they will serve at the starting point as the starting point for the uprising. Oh my god, we're going into chaos. Why? Oh man. And the king is alive. Okay, interesting. Okay. One moment. I just need to answer a quick phone message, and I'm coming right back. I promise. Give me 1 second. It's just slightly important. One moment. Almost there. Oh, it's just taking a second. Oh my god. Okay, good. The message is out. Alright, done. Back to what we were doing. Do we repress the protests? Yes, we did that. Okay, so, he's still alive somehow. I don't know how he's still alive, but here he is. And now we're in war. So that is really rough. And now we have some new, an endless war, the end call. Oh boy. Okay, let's continue. The enemy has interesting chronicles preserved in the form of oral poems describing their history and philosophy. If we question war prisoners and study these tales, we may find an edge to finally vanquish the Inkali. Yet this giant enterprise would occupy our brightest minds for quite some time. Do we fund research into the Inkali epic songs? Can I just read that again? Interesting chronicle. The enemy has interesting chronicles preserved in the form of oral poems describing their history and philosophy. Question. All prisoners that study these tales, we may find the edge to finally vanquish. Okay. Alright, interesting. I could just go with nay. Here. I'm thinking nay and just really hoping it doesn't dunk it too hard. Alright, let's go nay. I don't think it'll dunk it that hard. With our war still raging, we can't waste time on the most brilliant minds studying the enemy's childish tales. Our resources will be better spent finding a more concrete way to end this endless war. Despite this, some partial transcripts are produced by a few enthusiastic erudites. From the Chronicles of Thurn, the indestructible, freedom is never granted. Ulrich died for it, and Thurn knew that one day, together with his heirs, he would be forced to defend it again. During the following decade of apparent peace, he never stopped preparing for war, and he forged his children into steel. His daughter, Ellerton, the Winter Fox, became his best general thanks to her skill and intelligence, and when a new menace came to enslave the North, they were ready. Oh, these are the poems. The new enemy was called Omad, and with him came the 8 bloodless shades? Are they talking about the mother? Oh no! We're at odds. Big time. Mysteries. Sometimes after solving a dilemma, the scholars of Libra will discover a mystery. Mysteries are important discoveries that shed light on past kingdoms and civilizations. Each storyline has its own mystery to uncover. Well, what? What? A mystery? I want to know, is that in... Oh, the king! God, he lives forever! Long live the king! Jesus, but we have to keep going. Okay, yeah, that's a mystery that I have. The living poems. What do I do to solve it? Interesting. Okay. Let's continue. And we have a new thing. The endless war in the castle court. So it'll be food and money. I feel like we have to keep going. I just hope it's not. I can't decrease money. After enduring the horrors of the never-ending war against the Ankali, many soldiers were reduced to poverty upon their return home. Incapacitated and kept from working by the mutilations they suffered. Man, we're in the worst timeline. Some propose we should introduce a new sales tax on luxury goods to create a subsidy for our veterans, but this may damage trade. Do we create a subsidy for impaired veterans? I mean, I want to say yes, but now I'm afraid of that going down too far. I might have to use power to say no and call it. Because if it launches down too far... God, I'm my army, though. Do I risk it to help my army? And be ultimate allies with them? Oh, no. It's gonna go down too far. And my whole time I've been trying to keep it. Oh boy. I don't want to hurt the army anymore, man. The tax on luxury goods is highly criticized by those in high society, but many benefit from the subsidy funds. Some of the soldiers reduced to misery managed to rise from poverty, strengthening our economy in the long run. So I get a good economy point. Creating a subsidy to support impaired war veterans help poor families back on their feet, avoiding a breakdown of the foundations of our economy. Oh no. He dies! Oh, we stayed in the middle. It's all good. Okay, the king is dead. God, he lived forever. Golden era and long live the king. Oh my god, he lived to the maximum. How is that not a golden era? Oh no. Okay, I got a ton of points. More crave though than the other one. Yeah, because I had and then one additional. You have all the resources in the central area of the track. And then one for each white resource and one for each black resource. That's right. So I had a lot of declining. Okay. Amazing. Set back to the beginning. And those are mine. And now we will, that is the end of this reign. Thank you for joining me for a little bit of a longer one due to the history lesson. But, and Kissed at War. That's the timeline that I have launched us into. And I just tried to be moderate. And that's what I got for it. No. Alright, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!